So for example, certain laws are being passed that look like they're going to be taking more rights away from us, or certain things are being asked, or certain things are being built that look like they can be used against citizens, if you know what I mean.
Yes, we understand completely.
So it would seem that there was a time, maybe the 60s in our evolution, that people just sat around and said, oh, everything is going to be okay, and then it wasn't. And if we just sit around and say everything is going to be okay...
But you have to live and participate energetically so that it is okay. You all have to take responsibility to project the positiveness into the environment and not become fearful and not back up. Do you understand there? We think we have lost you somewhere along the way here.
You haven't lost me. I'd like more clarification.
All right. You live in a culture that has participated extremely negatively. It started out, we're talking about the United States, started out with a very clear vision of freedom, rights for all, freedom of religion. Anything you wanted to do, you could participate here, you could own things here, you weren't subservient to anyone. Started out that way. Then it started crescendoing into some negativity, then it would come back and crescendo into negativity and then sort of move back a bit. Every time you brought in a new leader or a new set of government, it got better. But then the negativity would creep back in. It's in the 1960s, we'd say that most individuals were participating in the illusion that everything was going to be okay, and no one really got up and did anything about it. They protested. They had an opinion for the first time. No one was sitting back and just being hush-hush anymore. They were starting to speak out. But then it sort of died out a bit. Everyone got very comfortable, being comfortable, and let it all go. And then the negativity started creeping in again. And you have all your incidents. We could sit here and list them all. And it has crescendoed, starting in around, what's your year? 2000. It started to really crescendo again. The negativity, it started building up on the planet. And the fear started building up again on the planet. This whole environment could have imploded in 2000 or so, 2001 or so. But there are a lot of energies who are putting their thoughts in the right place to hold that back. It's been crescendoing and the rug has been shaken, dust is in the air, but we think this time there are enough proactive, good energies that it's going to make a difference. Now you're looking at a lot of political things, and we say that politics rises and politics falls, and it's still under vote. We don't think that some of the negativity that you think is starting to be processed in the rights and all this, it's not going to go through as we see it energetically. We think that there's enough of you now who are more proactive, and there's enough returned energy who have reincarnated to make a difference. Now do you understand a bit better, my dear?
Much better, thank you. And by proactive, we all, if we're talking about time, we all have a certain amount of time in our day.
Yes.
And in that day, we could use it to fight the negativity, or to speak out against it, or to warn others against it.
That's what your choice is. But we think it would be much more efficient to just bring your own positive, soulful energy in. As mundane as you might think that is, it is extremely powerful. And most of you don't have an appreciation for that because you're very much entranced in the physical, and you've sort of forgotten what it's like to be omnipotent.
So please speak to us more about that.
Well, we'd say that very much all of you need to start connecting energetically to who you are. Remember who you are. You create your reality. Most don't. Most feel victim to their reality. Or most feel like everyone else is controlling their reality. And we say that each of you has the ability to create everything in your reality exactly the way you want. You just don't take it. You just don't do it. And you've been taught, most of you, that it's inappropriate. So we'd say, you don't have to spend your day protesting. You don't have to spend your day jumping up and down and not doing your daily thing. We say that connecting to your soulful energy every day and living as positively and truthfully as you can, and not allowing this negativity to come forth. It's an energetic battle. It's not a physical battle. It's an energetic battle. And if you all connect with your higher self and your energies, all of your fears will be allayed. But most of you don't do it, at least not in a consistent way. Or you think it's futile.
If any of us think it's futile, it might also be because we wake up in the morning and we see that our day is not what we wanted it to be and would rather stay in bed. But we live it and then go to bed saying, I wish it wasn't this way, and then wake up the next morning and starts all over again.
Then they're not using the power of thought as efficiently as they could.
And thought is?
The most creative thing on the planet. It is an expression of your soul.
And we use it how?
You usually use it just to get through your day. You go to your job, you do your thing, you do what you're told to do, you get your paycheck, you go home. You're very involved in linear, dramatic things. Or you spend it thinking about how you're going to make up with your sweetheart, or you think about how mad you are at your sweetheart, and you spend this whole day entranced in a drama when it could be used more productively in other ways. But that's the rub of being in linear. It's tough.
All right, so you're upset with your sweetheart, you're not able to pay the rent, and you're at a job that you don't like, and you're driving in traffic all upset. Those are your thoughts.
Yes.
And so we're creating more of that.
Yes.
Now, in this moment, while this person is in traffic, driving an hour to the job that they don't like, while thinking of their sweetheart that they just left behind, upset, etc., and knowing that this month they're not going to make enough to pay the rent, what do they do in that moment, and when will they see the effect in order for them to believe that they are actually doing something?
Depends again upon, it's very individualistic, but if they can take some time, early morning or at the end of their day, where they sit and divorce themselves from all of those difficulties and say, I am going to bring forth a positive thought, and I'm going to attach myself to it. Every time I feel I'm upset with my sweetheart or I'm stuck in traffic, all of that breeds more. All of that every time you have a negative thought, it breeds another negative thought, and it just expands and expands and expands, and there's no room for anything else. If you can, take a moment of pause and say, all right, I'm just going to sit here for a moment and decide that I'm not going to be victim to that. That I'm going to start thinking about creating another opportunity for myself in the workplace, creating an opportunity to talk to my sweetheart and clear this up one way or the other, create an opportunity where I get enough rest. I take care of myself a little bit better. I don't spend all my time thinking about the negative part of my day. I'm going to start thinking about how to change that. The problem is that many become very involved in the expansion of the negativity and forget that they can change it. You all forget how powerful you are. And it's easy to do. You're much more than you think you are. And if you can think beyond the negative moment, you can think your way out of anything. Difficult, not for everyone, but there are many who have done it.